Hi there. I'm getting ready to start my Christmas Without Mom Facebook Live presentation. I'm going to just kind of get started here a little bit gradually, and then we'll get into my presentation. So welcome. And if you see this and it applies to you and you are facing Christmas without mom, please share this content tonight. Not for me, for those who are facing Christmas without mom this year. So we'll get started here in just a few more seconds. And thank you for being here. I'm really, really glad that you were able to join us. Boy, we have winter here in South Dakota. It came with a lot of wind and a little bit of snow. And so it kind of feels like that time of year when it's like, ho, 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 Christmas is coming. So thanks. Okay, it's time to get started. Hi, my name is Dee Dee Rapp, and I'm the author of a book called Dear Mom, Remembering, Celebrating, Healing. I wrote that book because of my life 27 years ago tonight. In fact, 27 years ago and 1 hour approximately. That's a long time ago, but that's when my life changed forever. Think about your life when you were perhaps a young mom. Think about early career. 27 years ago, I was 34 years old. I weighed a lot less. I was living in Pierce, South Dakota. My daughters were 10 and 6, I think I figured out. And I was working for South Dakota Department of Tourism. In fact, I had just gotten back from an overseas trip. And my husband that night on December 5th was out in the Black Hills working on what would become known as the Mickelson Trail. And so think about early December in your life. You maybe typically have some Christmas decorations you've set out. Maybe you've started your Christmas baking. And so it's kind of a busy time of year. Well, add to that the fact that we had decided that was a good time of year to remodel our kitchen, which is crazy, I know. But there we were on December 5th. The kitchen was down to bare walls. There wasn't a cupboard in the room. The living room to the one side was filled with boxes, big boxes of cupboards to be installed. And the bedroom on the other side of the kitchen had become our makeshift kitchen. So I share that only to paint the picture of, total chaos. You're getting ready for Christmas. You've got your kitchen being remodeled. All that's in that kitchen is a telephone on the wall and a bucket of mud that the people had left behind from working on the walls that day. So that was the setting on December 5th, 1990, when the phone rang. And it was my sister saying, "Get home, quick, the hospital called. They don't think mom's going to make it. Click." And of course I was stunned beyond stunned, and I called her right back, and she pretty much repeated it verbatim and hung up again. And I can't tell you the exact episodes after that, but within minutes, the second phone call came and my mom had died. 34 years old. I did not know that a mom could die suddenly just before Christmas. I didn't know that a mom could die and you wouldn't have a chance to say goodbye. And I didn't know that a mom could die and you wouldn't have a chance to say, "Thanks, Mom." Sudden death is just so drastic. There's no conversations. There's no final anything. You go from preparing for Christmas to seeing your mom in a casket. And that is not one of life's smooth transitions. That is really hard. So, that's what I was dealt with on that night, December 5th, 27 years ago tonight. And life goes on. Life goes on, and you think that you're grieving, and I'm sure I was. But, life is busy with little girls and careers and remodeling, and we moved to another house, and then we eventually moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And it was on the 9th anniversary of my mother's death. So this is now December 5th, 1999. I'm sitting in our living room in Cheyenne, Wyoming, looking at the Christmas tree. And every year, my Christmas tree is decorated with ornaments that Mom made, things like this. And maybe you have people like that in your family too, who have the talent to take red, green, and white yarn and green felt and red ribbon and make like little wreaths and things like little mailboxes for your tree. That's what my mom did every year. We had all these ornaments that were just so special. And I was looking at them on that day. In fact, it was a Sunday morning. And as I looked at them at that time, the word gifts came into my head. And I saw them as gifts from my mom. And I thought, whoa, I never thought of them as gifts from her life. And then into my head came, well, what would you say to her if she were still alive? And that was so easy. Oh, I would tell her about my daughters. I would tell her about my husband. I would tell her about me. And believe it or not, at that moment over my left shoulder, I heard a little voice say, get up off your couch and go downstairs to your computer. And so for a change, I listened to that little voice. I don't always do that, but I did that day. And I went downstairs and I sat at my computer and I sat there, and some of my friends think I'm a little bit impatient. Not everybody, but some do, because I can be. And I looked over my left shoulder and I said, now what? And at that moment, my hands moved to the keyboard and I wrote, Dear Mom. And I wrote my dead mom a letter. And I bawled. I just cried. And then I wrote my mom another letter. And I cried some more, but I also laughed a little bit because my mom had this wonderfully sarcastic sense of humor, and that was coming across to me. And so over the course of the next, 5, 6, 7 months, I wrote my mom letters. It's like I had found a way to connect with my mom, who had been gone then for 9 years. And it was marvelous, guys. It was so good. I laughed and I cried and I wrote about snow in Cheyenne. I wrote about birthday parties. I was in Cody, Wyoming, and I wrote one. And I wrote wherever I was, something came up. I just wanted to talk to my mom. And so I kept writing these letters to my mom, and it was amazing. It was so good. And I knew when I had written the last one, I knew that I really had healed of her loss. So I shared them with a friend of mine who is a professional counselor in the Cheyenne school system, and she said, you have found a way to heal, and you need to publish those. So 5 years later, I got that done. One of the first readers of Dear Mom told me this. She said, reading Dear Mom was like getting a hug from my late mom. And I thought, if Dear Mom can give people hugs, then that's like the best hug ever. That is the best hug ever. Because when you don't have your mom and you're facing Christmas, you need a hug. We just need that hug. See, the reason it was so hard to lose Mom just before Christmas, besides a sudden death, is moms make Christmas. At least mine did, and I'm sure yours did. And she did it by her baking and the way she made presents and the way she decorated. And, we grew up without a whole lot of anything, but that woman, my goodness, she could make Christmas special. And she did it every year. So then you face Christmas without your mom. There's an empty chair. There is something not made by someone who always made it. I have recipes called Mom's Fry Pan Cookies. It's a Christmas delicacy in my world. It's just a fry pan cookie that I make that my mom made. So I'm doing this so I can encourage you if you have lost your mom and this is your first Christmas without her. I have several friends in that boat right now. That's a hard one. So next week, a week from tonight, I'm going to dig into some things that you can do very specifically that as I look back, I found myself, that's what I did. I'm going to share those next Tuesday night. But for tonight, I want to encourage you to know that you can get this best hug ever by remembering and celebrating some of the best gifts of your mother's life. I have a professional Facebook page besides this one, and on that one, you'll see the best hug ever information. And I'm going to post some of my favorite letters from Mom and some of the things that just kind of help me as I cope with Christmas every year without my mom. because I know it's hard. And I think we can do this for each other. We can help each other. In fact, if you have a friend or a family member who's lost a mom this year, connect. One of the things I say to people is, this is your first Christmas without your mom. And it's pretty hard, but it's like, yeah, they want that validation to just be recognized that, yeah, that's the reality. But you can get through it, and you can fill that empty chair with wonderful, wonderful memories. And that's what I've been doing now not for the first 9 years. Those first 9 years were pretty hard, although I think I tried. But since then, I've been doing a much better job of it. So what I want to do, though, tonight is something I've never done, and I'd like to share with you the very first letter I wrote my mom. So if you'll bear with me, I'd love to share this with you. And I think I'll post this on that Facebook page as well. I titled each of these letters in Dear Mom. This one was titled Memories of Christmas Past. Dear Mom, I sit on my couch next to the Christmas tree in our home in Cheyenne and look at the ornaments that you made for us. I realized that it has been 9 years since I had Christmas with you. That's a long time. Your sudden, unexpected death just before the holiday was very hard on me. I've spent years being unable to enjoy the spirit of the holiday again, but this year I have felt festive and more alive than any Christmas since you died. You made dozens of ornaments for us, Mom, and every year they adorn the tree. Crocheted snowflakes, cross-stitched bird feeders, complete with bird food and birds, beaded angels, and cross-stitched mailboxes, eager for Christmas cards from afar. Even the ornaments on my tree that you didn't make remind me of you. Small stuffed animals in whimsical colors, festive Hallmark balls that date each year of my daughter's lives, candy cane decorations handmade by your granddaughters. You kept the pleasures of life simple, Mom. You took the simple ingredients of crafts and made them sparkle for my tree. Every year I open the box of ornaments, regard them with love, hold them with care, and place them on the tree in remembrance of you and the way you loved Christmas. I still cherish the early Christmas celebrations on the farm in South Dakota. Remember the plaid dresses that Grandma Wire made for me to wear? I searched for Santa through Grandma and Grandpa's windows as I heard his sleigh go by, yet being too little to get the same view as my brother. The rascal always beat me to the window. Every year, the Wire cousins performed the Christmas story, wearing capes, holding the baby Jesus, and singing Christmas songs. One year, Santa brought me a folding card table and 4 chairs. Oh, that was a marvelous Christmas present. I played on that table and chairs for many hours, serving tea to stuffed animals and an occasional sibling. The Christmas cookies you made every year smelled so delicious. Cutouts, perfectly baked, and then frosted in red, green, and white. Santa's bells, trees baked to holiday perfection. Sweet date cookies rolled in coconut made my mouth water. Jubilee jumbles. And thumbprint cookies that looked nice, but they were just way too adult for me to enjoy, Mom. Baking sugar cookies is on my list of things to do today, Mom. First, I just wanted to sit, enjoy a cup of coffee on my couch, and look at our tree. It may have been a decade since I've had a Christmas with you, but I know you are here with us, through your ornaments, through your love for my children, and through the customs of Christmas that I took for granted as a child. Thank you for the ornaments and traditions, Mom. They make my Christmas special. Merry Christmas, Mom. That's the very first letter I wrote. And like I said, I wrote and I cried and I started to heal. So this Christmas, if you've lost your mom, there's so many ways that you can connect with her and remember the little things that she did. You know, it was never about the big things. My mom never went to Europe and didn't go to New York and didn't ever do anything really wild. My mom was this ordinary, amazing mom from the prairie. And I think that's why, for me, it was just so easy to take her for granted. But as I wrote those letters and I dug around and I found so many amazing memories and stories. In each one of those stories is a lot like, in fact, I talked about this today to people at the Catholic Diocese for a grieving group. I said, stories are buckets that hold your values. And I'll show them one more time. Here's some of the ornaments that Mom made. This is, and by the way, this is like a little mailbox. You can see where the little letters would have gone. And every year she dated them. So this is going to be backwards because I'm filming this myself. But this says 1985. And then ornaments like this that are made out of some kind of yarn. I don't even know what she made some of these out of. But, you know, if you went to a rummage sale, I'm sure that these would not go for very much, but you can't buy them from me. They are absolutely special, special, special. So next week when I do this, I'm going to show you a lot more ornaments. I'm going to show you some of my favorite cookies. I will have my tree up by then. I will be able to show you a lot more stuff. But for now, if this is a Christmas without your mom, I want you to know that there's a lot of us out there. And this is a journey that I highly recommend you never take alone. Go to my Facebook page, my professional Facebook page. It's just Dee Dee Rapp, author and professional speaker, or the other way around, I don't know, but find me. And you'll see more stuff there. You'll see best hug ever. And I'll put some letters there. And you can also please share your memories. And if you don't get my Dear Mom e-zine, let me know if you want that. Tell me on Facebook and I'll put you on the list. I'm going to publish that tomorrow. And that's another place where I just share a lot of mom memories. So that's all I wanted to share tonight. I know how hard Christmas without mom is. And I want you to know that you can get through it. And you'll even find wonderful, wonderful memories that will make you smile and laugh and cry as you find ways to fill that chair and decorate the tree with all those amazing memories from your mom. So again, please share this with somebody. If you know somebody who's lost their mom, please share this just so they can maybe hear a couple of things and get some ideas. And next week, join me again, Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. And I've got some things related to food and some more ornaments and Christmas cards and things that we'll share. So thank you so much. And by the way, if you want to see part of Dear Mom, it's on my website, just deederapp.com. And my journal is there too, and you can see quite a few pages of the book for free. So just go there and read some of it. And you'll see some of the things that I did that might help you with finding the memories of your mom. So Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas, and we'll talk again next week. Thank you so much for being here. Good night.